Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town of Bladensburg Town Council meeting for Monday, January the 12th, 2026. Happy New Year to everyone. Thank you for joining us. We are now called to order, and we will begin tonight's meeting by moving on the approval of tonight's agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Moved by Councilmember.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Trina Brown. Are there any correction or edits to the agenda?
No.
And with that, I'll call for the motion to approve the agenda. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? The ayes have it. The agenda is approved. And before I move on, I just want to let you know Mayor James will not be joining us tonight due to our schedule of her job. And also, we will vote to excuse also Councilmember Blunt for tonight's meeting. Thank you. We'll continue on the approval of the meeting for December the 8th of 2025 work session. Is there a motion to approve the meeting?
So move.
Moved by Councilmember Brown. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember McBride. Are there any comments, corrections, or feedback on the minutes? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. The meetings are approved. Next item on tonight's agenda is financial business, and I'll turn it over to our staff. Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm going to turn this over to Mr. Tonelli. He's going to give us a brief overview of what to expect for the audit for 2025. Mr. Tonelli?
Thanks, Michelle. Happy New Year, Mayor and Council members. The audit is still being worked on. We're supposed to have a draft by the end of December. Unfortunately, I fell ill with the flu last week and a half of the month, and I think everybody in the office had it. It went around the office, so we were hampered. So had to request an extension from the state, which they gave us, of course, for good cause, obviously. And I'm working on with the auditor right now, and we're winding down very close to the end. I was hoping to have a draft here for you tonight, but because of that, didn't plan on that happening, so kind of set things back a ways. But right now, we're just have it narrowed down to fixed asset schedule and depreciation reports, and just a final walkthrough. They're actually coming on site on Thursday. I just told them it'd be easier instead of just us scanning documents back and forth. Just send somebody in here and we'll knock it all out in one day. So we will have something for you at the February meeting. And apologize it didn't, so it's but it's going. So any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Vito. I know what you're talking about in regards to the flu. I had it too, so I feel you on that. Thank you for that update, and we look forward.
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't plan on getting this. I've never gotten in years, and it's knocks you down pretty hard.
Thank you.
I'm just glad that you're feeling. Actually, that everybody's feeling better. Yeah,
I'm getting there.
Right. Yes. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Brown. Next on the agenda, we will move on to information memo FY 2026 budget updates. Mr. Vito.
Okay, I have I'm just going to spend a few minutes here. I'm going to start my clock just so I don't go over. Watch my time. Give me 5 minutes, Sean, if you don't mind. And I just want to talk about where we are right now through the first 6 months of the fiscal year. I emailed this to you all on Friday, and it's also, you should have a printout up there. And it's very small up here, so I'm going to try to get this blown up a little bit more. Give me a second. So it's up on screen, and also for folks at home, or anybody watching online. The revenues have been coming in quicker than anticipated, meaning that the real estate taxes, the real property tax, it has been coming in as planned. We had a little bump this year because of the higher assessments. The business personal property taxes are actually coming in. The assessments are actually coming in ahead of what was projected. And we're seeing the same upticks for the income tax. We still have the bulk of that coming in at the end of the year. That coincides with the April and June personal income tax filings. We don't have any activity reported yet for the bond bill or for the Fed funding. We do have some expenses, some smaller expenses that we will put against that, but the activity there is pretty limited. The fines and fees have increased because of the increased collection activities from the police department. Now, the one thing that is going ahead of budget is for the automated traffic enforcement with the speed cameras and the red light is performing ahead of budget. And what's not in here either is the stop sign enforcement, I believe. That's going to be coming on sometime soon. Other revenues are higher because a lot of that is from the insurance reimbursement from the public works building damage. And we also received a $19,000 rebate from Care First in December. Small drop in the bucket for what we pay, the $1 million that we paid to them, we get $20,000 back. So it's, so it's a good faith effort. Interest has been down. That's going to start increasing soon because as the tax payments come in, there's more cash in the account. I don't think it's going to hit the 250 this year. I think the interest rates are going to be, there's going to be pressure down on the interest rates. I think it's only going to be about 215,000 of the 250,000 budgeted, just because of the pressure down on the interest rates. Restricted grants, that is, I call that money in, money out. That's for your CDBG projects, your roadway projects, the street lighting, the curbing, the sidewalks, all the good stuff. I mean, because we are in a priority funding area, so that helps and also takes the pressure off of us having to use the highway user revenues as well. Let's jump down to expenses real quick. I'm just going to run through these. Mayor and council compensation is slightly above budget, and that is because of we had a slight health insurance increase and also the pension increase as well. The state of Maryland increased the pension contribution rate higher than I projected by a couple points. So we're going to see that across all the departments. And general expenses are down because we still have the MML, professional development, that happens more towards the end of the year when we see those expenses, and also the community events as well, as we start paying for the fireworks for next year and everything else. You'll see these expenses jump up. Those are more of end of the year expenses. Administration, it's pretty much within budget. Compensation for public safety and law enforcement is slightly above budget because of we had some payouts this year with some officers that vacated their positions, and also for the health insurance increases and the pension increases. As I said, we're going to see those across the departments. The general expenses are down, which is good. Public Works, same thing with their compensation, the health insurance increase and pension increase, but their general expenses are down. So I'm sorry, they're slightly up because of equipment repairs that they've been holding off on. So that's about it for where we are through the year. But what I want to focus on down there at the bottom is that 1,698,000 surplus that we are in right now. It's the highest surplus we've had at this point in the year, which is great. Now, some of that could be timing differences. Timing differences meaning, when the tax payments come in versus, they're front loaded the first half of the year versus coming in more towards the second half of the year. So that's why I'm cautious when on these like 6 month, I feel better talking about like a 9 month, versus just a 6 month, because it wipes out all those timing differences and everything. So, but that's where we are right now. Let me do a forecast.
Thank you, Mr. Vito. Go ahead, Michelle.
I think you're good. No, this is just a general overview, because at 6 months in, you can kind of see where you are. And as Mr. Tonelli has mentioned, the 1.6 surplus that we're in right now, I think more reflects the real property and business property tax assessments coming in a little bit early, because that we still have to get through the next 6 months.
I mean, we still have a big 6 months left to get through. Yeah,
so
it's,
we are cautiously optimistic, and we are going to continue that cautious optimism through the rest of the year. Part of, as you know, what we're going to be doing is next month, you'll get your first taste at the FY27 budget. We'll just start that process. We've already started drafting some of the materials, but we'll just do a basic general overview next month, which you can expect. And then moving into March and April is when you're going to dig down into the departments and make those changes. And as part of tonight's informational memos, you'll also get something on the town events, which I guess will be in the next 2 or 3 items, which in some ways will start to inform some of your purchasing as well. But we've received some additional funds this year from Park and Planning for some events, which will help us move into next year's community events a little bit differently too, so that we can spend some of the funding that we always anticipate spending this year with the Park and Planning Fund. So I think it's a good year. I think there's a lot of things that that have come into place in the last year that we haven't had kind of fall into place in the right timing. And some of those expenditures that Mr. Tonelli mentioned in regards to employees leaving. We had a big retirement with one of our officers that left, and those are funds that we anticipated that we had to spend. And in some ways, it does clear off some of our books of some of owed revenues. So it's a very good thing.
But it takes time for it to like
to
balance
out
out
on the
through
budget,
year.
yeah.
So it's
Right. So but it's a good thing for the future. But in some ways, it's like it's this year you'll see a 52. You go to
it's
54.
cash outflow. It's
Yeah.
immediate.
You'll
so
see
it's-
54% versus 52%, which is not really. And when I saw it this weekend, when I was looking at it on Friday, I'm like, if we're at 52% or 54%, we're really running pretty good on our budgets. We're not even, we're really not killing ourselves at overtime. I was thanking Acting Chief Fishcorn for that last week as well, because I looked at our overtime numbers. They're moderate, especially because we are running short on staff, and we have a lot of people working multiple shifts. So I just want to thank staff for their continued, just frugality and patience with us through this time. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vito. Thank you, Michelle. Council, do you have any feedback or comments?
Thank you for that, Mr. Vito. And so, with that 1,698,000, so should it be surplus, or is that the?
I'd rather not say surplus at this point because it's great when the tax revenues come in early, but we still have your expenses. We still have that big. I would like to say that big, that nut we have to cover every single month. So it's going to chip away at that. So it's nice that it's there. I mean, we did have a loss last year because the speed camera funds did not come in. So it's, yeah. So, I mean, I'd rather erode some of the dips and everything that we've had the last year or two. So it's nice to see that there. But at the same time, I'd like to put some back in reserves that we used to have that have been spent down. So,
And also on here with the stormwater, the opera stormwater, grant expenses, long-term capital projects. Can you just elaborate, expound just a little bit?
no, I'll let you do it.
Oh,
if you don't
great, I
mind.
love
Yeah,
that.
well, that's
Yeah,
for
it's
the
like a
stormwater project
project.
that we're partnering with the county on.
They just- Yeah.
And we have until December of this year to spend the money.
26.
And we haven't been invoiced by the county yet. I think that there's still figuring out how to do that on their end and everything, and to bring the money in for a partner project with the municipality.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're really good at giving us back money, but they're not as good as asking us back for the money.
So it
which
sits
is-
there and it earns a couple $1,000s interest a month, so it's
Right.
sitting at $2,000-3,000 interest a month sitting in there, so I'm not going to, pound down their doors to say, hey, where's,
And they executed the project, I think, a couple months ago. You saw that they provided us with the report on the stormwater. So they have
Yeah.
executed the project for you, so it should be coming. It should be, we should,
Yeah.
hopefully we'll close it out in this fiscal year, because I don't want to carry it on one
Yeah,
more
I don't
year
either.
in an audit, which would be good.
Actually, I'd rather have it paid by March 31st, because that is the end of year ARPA reporting deadline, so then it comes off
okay.
of our, and we don't have to do it any more
Right.
Okay.
ARPA reporting reports, or have that come up during the audit.
Yep.
Because that costs an additional amount for the audit,
Right,
because they have to do
right.
additional testing for ARPA,
Right.
even though you might not have any activity.
Is there any way that to tell them, hey, we have there's deadline, or, can this, can
No,
this?
we have, Councilwoman, we have been doing that, and we've been in communication with DPW&T on it, and I think they were kind of waiting for the project to be done. Now that it is done, we can ask for that, and they
Right.
can give us all the expenses for Clean Water Partnership. I think that's what they really need to be able to account for, because there's so many people that they were charging off to it. So hopefully, we'll be able to get together, and that's what I agree with you, this is just basically what we're just saying, is that we want to close this out before March 31st to get it done.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Vito. Thank you, Michelle. Councilmember Brown, thank you for those questions. Those were great questions. Councilmember McBride, do you have any questions or comments?
Well, kind of, what's the long-term capital project?
Those are for the bond bill projects for Town Hall and also for Boswick.
And as
Thank
an
you.
update on that, just so that you know, the Boswick project and the Town Hall project are both sitting in legal with the AG's office with bond bills, so we have been following through on that. So we just received an email from the AG, which I think I forwarded to Vito just last week, that just said there's some new documentation that they're reviewing, so that they're re-reviewing it for all of the bond bills, and that's what's holding them up, but they will let us know as soon as they have an answer on some of the funding. So our projects are small, but because of some of the federal guidelines, they are looking at all projects differently from the AG's office, so that's why it's been stalled.
So is Boswick's house going to be held up somewhat?
No, we're preloading the money, so we've been pre-spending the money and doing it, and that's the thing, is that I'm not worried, but I will say that I'll stop. I'm not going to go out and do any more projects until they can tell me exactly, because most of our projects fall in the $250,000 range for the federal, some of those, the federal funding, but we have been using the Davis-Bacon wage and doing all the things that the state requires, because all projects of the state require Davis-Bacon. So I just want to make sure that we're comfortable with it, but yeah, we've been in contact with DGS a lot recently. We finally got a good connection in there. It's taken me a year to get a person that actually answers my calls, and so that's been, so she's been really good, and so I'm hopeful that it's going to move forward. It's just that the AG just sent out this new notification to everyone, so. And it's even also affecting even our Medco grant to an extent. They just got that freed up, and that shouldn't have taken 6 months. So it's a lot of stuff that's been slowed down.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember McBride, and thank you, Michelle. Mr. Vida, thank you for the report. Thank you for the update. I also appreciate the explanation around these expenses, so our resident can have an understanding and have clarity, especially the pension and health insurance that increases, which affects everyone around the globe. So thank you so much. It's helpful to see that many of those expenses remain under budget, which is great. It's also encouraging to see the revenue coming in ahead of time of project. So thank you for that update. Next on the agenda, I'm so sorry, my computer was trying to. Next on the agenda is new business. The ordinance number 12 to 26, fiscal year 2026 budget amendment for police department to purchase 2 vehicles and uplifting expenses not to exceed 135. And I will hand that over to Acting Chief Fishcorn. Thank you.
Good evening. We're asking to purchase 2 new vehicles. Right now, we only have 2 spare vehicles, the ones that are getting upfitted. Upfitting now is taking a while, and it's been several months. The ones that were approved before aren't going to be done with upfitting until the middle of next month. And with the hire of a new officer in anticipation of hiring one more officer, we have a lot of vehicles that have maintenance issues that I'm trying to take care of, and we have 3 of them in which the cost of the maintenance is either half or almost as much as the vehicle cost itself. So those, we're anticipating on deadlining 3 vehicles. So we want to have enough sufficient vehicles so that we have at least a spare for the officers whenever their vehicles go down. As part of that, that'll be the speed camera funds, and it will be amendment to the current budget, and also allow for insurance proceeds that we got on a vehicle from Legit that was a total loss.
See, I just found out too that the insurance proceeds were $35,000. We just received that on Friday, after this was done. But so now we're looking at $100,000 that we will pull from speed cameras, which are tracking ahead of budget right now. And as Acting Chief said, it's it's one of those things that, like, deferred maintenance eventually catches up to you, So we hold off doing something, and then and then all of a sudden we're down vehicles. So so that's it.
Thank you, Acting Chief, and thank you, Mr. Vito. We want to make sure that our staff have great vehicle to do their job as well. Councilmember McBride or Councilmember Brown, do you have any comments or concerns?
Yes, I do. So just real quick, so I know that at one time we were looking at like leasing fleets of fleet vehicles, and because I see these right here, they're need to replace 2 of the 2017 Ford Interceptors.
Yeah, Councilwoman, that's a really good question. So what we've been doing and what we'll be bringing back to you is we've actually re-engaged with Enterprise in regards to the lease program, the lease purchase program. The reason why we're suggesting purchasing these at this moment, part of the lease purchase program is that you don't really and truly lease, you're really buying with $1 at the end purchase. So you're paying lease payments, but you're going to own the asset anyways, which is pretty similar. The upfitting issue, and we spoke with Enterprise, is the fact that they're having the same issue getting vehicles upfitted in a timely manner, using their particular vendors, so that the vendor that we found outside of this that does work with our state contract will be able to get us the vehicles faster, and we would be able to do those capital expenses in this year, which we were going to which we are still going to bring you the option of the lease or the other one. But at this point, we have so many vehicles that we we're sort of in this hybrid era anyways. We own all of our vehicles right now.
Right,
Um,
right.
So it's not much of a change, and I think from the standpoint of utility and what the chief's needs are, that's then what the department's needs are. That's the reason why we're saying at this point, because we can get these vehicles, they can be fully upfitted, and we can get them pretty quickly. When acting chief came to me, I was like, yeah, let's do this because we have so many vehicles that need repairs, that need to be deadlined, and that we've been working through over the last few months. And with these 4 that we purchased being delayed by the upfitter that we had contracted with, it's kind of a no-brainer. So that's the reason why we're making this recommendation, and acting chief can give you more, but that's why I made the decision to say at this point to get the 2 from the particular vendors. We're looking at 3 vendors. That's the reason why you have 2 there, and I believe that acting chief is getting me a 3rd one, but just so that we can have vendors that actually do the upfitting and the purchase at the same location. And that's a trend that we might be moving towards, because this whole idea of upfitting has been very has delayed the process. So I hope that helps.
Yes.
Thank you for that explanation. Councilman McBride, do you have any comment or concern?
No. No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Next on the agenda, we will move to information memo, Town Event 2026, an overview of the town for event calendar year. Over to you, Ms. Shell.
Yes, thank you. Actually, I need to probably have Vito to bring up the event calendar for me, but I'm going to sort of just go through it for you and then put some things together. So this year, the council, just as usually, we usually bring you the event calendar in January, February, so that you can kind of see what we're planning for the calendar year of 2026, including both the police and the town events. What Mr. No problem. I got a lot of filler. Mr. Jeffries has been very diligent in developing a lot of different programs. And what he's done is he has a month-by-month schedule of what to expect from the town. So there we go. It's coming up in a second. And there we go. The first thing that we're going to be looking at is the January Day of Service, which we do at we're going to be doing at Bladensburg Waterfront Park, the Martin Luther King Day of Service. And that we will also be, the next thing we have in February is Exploring Black History. That's scheduled for the 21st at the Bladensburg Community Center. And let's go for March. March, we have the Rose Awards, which we've been working on, and BPD has tentatively scheduled the extravaganza on the 28th, which is, I guess, Palm Sunday, like we usually, or the week before the week of Palm Sunday. The health fair, what we're looking to get done is in April. Some of that will be funded by park and planning funds. We've already asked them for it, along with the green and clean. Now it's called Green, Clean, and Elevate under the new county executive, and that's just something that we do every year. And so that'll be exciting in April. In May, we've got a lot. We're looking at doing an America 250 bike ride with some of the other towns. Mental health awareness is always there. And then we've got Memorial Day ceremony at the Memorial Grove. In June, we try to keep it light with Juneteenth. So we'll do some kind of community art / paint, but maybe different this year. I'm going to let Ray, I'm not going to try to outdo Ray's raying, so he'll probably come up with something that's exciting and I've not even thought about for Juneteenth, so I'm not even going to say what it's going to be. In July, we have the fireworks on the 2nd of July, which makes us probably one of the first to do the fireworks, but it'll be great for the big celebration of 250 years in the United States, probably competing with some MMA tournament at the White House, but we'll see what happens. And that's not a joke. There really is an MMA thing in June, July. Wow. Yes, as long as the West Wing is open. So National Night Out is in August. We're working with VPD on that. And then the back to school summer jam from that standpoint in August. We we're trying to work on where those both will be located. Maybe we would try, I'd like to do something at Bostwick and have an open house there at maybe doing National Night Out there. So I've got to work with police on selling them on Bostwick. The senior gathering is tentatively scheduled for September 8th at the Waterfront Park. I know that that's what Councilwoman Blunt wanted to move back to the Waterfront Park. October is our Bladensburg Day, trunk or treat, and then we have another Green, Clean, and Elevate in October. It's a busy month. And November is our Thanksgiving. I'm rolling ahead on you without you. Veterans Day ceremony on the 11th, and Thanksgiving meal distribution on the 21st. So we're tentatively scheduling just one giveaway for the November time. We will work with the council on what you all want to do, if you want to add something in December, if we want to do another giveaway. And in December, because it's always busy, we have Yule Log and the Senior Gala and December. So that, and Shop with a Cop, which we need to put also on there. So Shop with a Cop, it's like and so we usually have something almost every week in December before the holidays come. And so that's what 2026 looks like. Some of our, as again, I was going to say, we have some funding from Park and Planning in which I've asked for Mental Health Awareness Month, Councilwoman Brown, so that we can get both not only the location free, but also to do a speaker and the food and some transportation costs for that event from the Park and Planning. And then the health fair itself as well, Councilwoman Dixon, I know that you guys are also working on that. Some of the instructors, things like that you want to do there, and then kind of utilizing it to move towards if we want to do the 250 biking as well. So we got a lot going on. So there you go. Boom. Excitement. Jazz hands for the end of it. There you go. Those are town events for 2026. I'm here for questions.
Thank you, God. Thank you so much, Ms. Michelle. Thank you so much for all this information. We appreciate, the council appreciate the work that you guys put in to develop such full and thoughtful event for 2026. And so I'm going to ask the council if they have any comment on these events. Councilman Brown?
Yeah, just real quick. I mean, I think it's, it's great and exciting, that we're having all of these events going on, but it seems like it can also be a little, is it taxing or, to the staff and, probably like what's, because I know there's, some of them we do in collaboration with the police department as well with their community division. So,
I mean, I think the thing about which we look at, Councilwoman, is that we look at this as a good opportunity where we serve the residents, and it's one of those hands-on projects, especially with, some of the green projects that we do, and especially with the educational projects, like, the mental health awareness, the healthcare stuff. We really are trying to better the community, and I think that's one of the things that, that you all have instilled in us, is that a lot of it is community outreach and service to the residents. So having events on a regular basis keeps not only staff, but council engaged with residents. Yeah. So whatever level of engagement you want us to have, we're here for.
Right. Thanks.
Thank you, Michelle. Councilmember McBride, do you have any comment?
We do a lot of things, and we do a lot. But I'm thinking this year, if we could do some more for the men. The men need something else to motivate them, and they need to exercise and know that we care about them. I understand that the women and the children come out. If any residents have any ideas, would you please send them in? I'm serious, yeah, because we need to focus on our men. They have to deal with life also. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember McBride. We did have, last year we had a event, I forgot which event that was, where we were doing some exercise, and we had male and female, We did, yeah, we did add some event. But as we move forward, I would like us to be more intentional about making sure that these events reach all the significant part of our community. So all our residents can participate in all of our events, especially, as I said, our seniors. Don't forget our youths, because when we have events, we have more seniors than youths. So we want to, 2026, we want to incorporate, get the youths out, the young adults out more, residents who may not always feel connected to the town programs that we have. So we want to be a little more intentional on these events. Thank you so much. Talking too much. Next on the agenda, we will move into information memo. There's action C, data center update. I pass it over to our TA.
Thank you, Councilwoman. So this is another time for the council to review the information that was provided in regards to the data center program. As far as the county has, as my understanding, the county has, in some ways, they're going back and reviewing that location. It hasn't been finalized yet, and that the group is still asking, though, for the town to submit a letter. I know that that from the standpoint of the mayor, and she's not here today, she asked for a little bit more time to be able to review the materials and to have information from the group, which we have received. I forwarded it to you. I've also reposted the same information that we had. But the real update is that the county in some ways has, slowed down their process. And it is, and I have that in the, I'm sure that in public comments, Ms. McCutcheon is here, she may make public comments. But I did ask the people who were sending emails that they could speak at this portion. Ms. McCutcheon, if you'd like to, you can, but I think you said kind of everything that's there. So we just want to make sure that this was open and we had the process for everyone to be able to, look at the use of data centers and, what they're doing. It's kind of like, in some ways, it's a two-sided coin, right? We love, people like AI, they love some of that stuff that we get from technology, but at the same time, it costs a lot of resources, water, and energy. And those have an effect on the environment and everyone else. I was driving through, Ohio, and there was like a cornfield, and somebody said and I saw a sign that said no data centers right here. And so it's not just our problem, it's all over the country, and communities are grappling with this all over the country. So that's just my 2 cents and my overview on it, and I'm here for questions.
Thank you, Michelle, for that update. And as Michelle stated, that our mayor is currently not here, and we will move forward when she comes back. Councilors, do you have any questions or concern on this? No? Okay, thank you.
Because there's a lot going on around the data center, so definitely, like to review it a little bit more, agree with the mayor, look over it a little bit more, and then give our input. Yeah.
Councilman McBride, do you have any comments?
No, I'm gonna hold my comments for when we talk a little more about the data centers and the effects it may have.
Thank you, Councilmember McBride. We will move on. Our next item on the agenda is information memo on GovPilot. Over to you, TA.
I'm very happy to let Mr. Reinhardt provide an overview and a presentation on this, just to give you an introduction so that everything can come up on the screen. Mr. Reinhardt and other staff have been working on our GovPilot solution, which is in regards to our code enforcement, rental licenses, and business licenses, and the inspection process. The one thing, and then also parking tickets. So we found one solution that would help to automate all of these things, and it allows people to, one, see the process online, and also to be able to apply online, submit everything, and it gives us, right now, we use a series of spreadsheets and things to track things, and things are different files. This puts one central repository. So GovPilot is up. Mr. Reinhardt, it's your show.
Good evening, Council. This program actually goes back to about 2025, early to mid-year, when we were actually looking for some code enforcement software to, bring us up to the 21st century and actually help out all departments for the town. I did a quick brief PowerPoint. This is no Ray Jeffries PowerPoint. He's the PowerPoint extraordinaire. So this is one I put together over the weekend. So basically, this is just to explain the residents aspect of GovPilot. So as you see, this is how they would actually log into the GovPilot system. They would actually go in and they would actually type an address. And once they start typing the address, all the addresses in the town of Bladensburg, they'll start autofill. So you put 4229, it'll say 4229 Edmiston Road, 57th Avenue, and you just click on the location that you want. For example, I just used Town Hall. The residents will see a form they would have to fill out. It would come up and basically they'd put the complaint information. They don't have to put their name, but we do request an email or somehow that we can get back in contact with them. That's one of the bigger things, and it also adds their email to more town channels. So if the town needs to reach out to them for further information or special events, we have their email address. And again, what we receive, we do not share, it stays internal. As they're typing in the address, it'll automatically populate the property owner's information. So as you look down here, it's already automatically populated. 4229 Edmiston Road belongs to the town of Bladensburg. It gives you the parcel ID number. So it's basically, it makes it a whole lot easier for the residents to follow a complaint. And again, if you look on the bottom, it has an area where you can actually type, and it'll actually give you a drop-down menu of whatever you want to do. And the types of menus we have, from abandoned houses and vehicles, animal complaints, damaged curves, to utility issues like a broken water main break, a down power line, snow issues. So there's a plethora of selections that they could choose from, and there's even another section. So if the can't figure out what it's about, go into the other section, they could type it up. The nice thing about this is it actually allows you to give you a description of the concern. For example, loud noises on Monday nights at Town Hall, especially on council meeting nights. So we can have loud noises here. So, and then some residents don't exactly have an address sometimes. They'll just have an intersection, so they can actually describe the building to us. So it could be the brick building with green signs, or the blue house with red shutters. This actually helps us break down a more specific location on the map below. And again, it drops a pin on the map below, so we can actually go to the specific address to where we need to go to. So it's not, no more guessing or anything, or if they're not sure, they can look at the map and say, yeah, that looks like where it is. And you can actually break it down to I shouldn't say real-time view, but an aerial view of the property. Something that we see on our end, it actually breaks down, like we said, who it belongs to, the property address. It actually breaks down gives you the State Department Assessment Taxation record for that property. So that helps us with the town to find out, one, especially since we're going to start getting into rental properties, to find out if it's a privately owned property or rental property. So, and then with the rental properties, it actually gives us an opportunity in most properties to reach directly out to the owner of the property. Because at the end of the day, the owner of the property is the responsible party for that property, not the actual tenant. So once it's completed out, it will issue a reference number for the resident. That resident will, if they put the email address, they will be emailed the reference number. And then any notes that we actually add on to it, down into the description of concern or any like that, they will receive notification from our department, from where we are in progress of it to actually when we actually close it out, what the results we have. And then again, at that time, if the resident still has some more concerns, they can reply back to us about their concerns, and we will reach back out to them and address those concerns too. Again, not a big PowerPoint, I'm not a Ray Jeffries, but I just want to say, thank you for your time. If anybody has any questions, council, please feel free. And residents, again, our email address is on there. Please feel to reach out to myself or Town Hall. We'll definitely get back in touch with you. Our plan is to go live this week. That is our plan, to go live with just the residents' concern part of it, to the parts where it goes to like the parking, the business licensing will start June, we'll start the process, and that's actually gonna streamline our business license, because we'll email our business licenses. They can fill everything out online, we got doing our inspection, and they could actually come back on after it's approved and print their license out themselves. So it's gonna save us a little bit of time and effort, but also gonna save us a lot of money on paper and wear and tear, so they'll be able to print it out after the inspections. That's pretty much it. So if you guys have any questions, I'm really excited, looking for it. It's a long time coming. I think it's going to, it's definitely going to bring us into the 21st century. And it's going to streamline a lot of code enforcement and a lot of the parking tickets and citations process also. Thank you.
Thank you too for such great information. Councilmember, do you have? Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Mr. Reinhardt, what happens if you encounter a senior that may not be able to use the system?
Well, the good thing is if a senior, it's not like we're going to give up our phone or anything. They'll still reach out to us, and then what we could do is we'll actually data in it ourselves, and then we could actually still issue them a case number. So if they call to us, we can actually report to them, once we give them RAC 1234, they could follow up onto it, and we could stay in contact with that way. So again, this is just gonna make it, if somebody's online, it'll be like a phone app, it'll be online, even if they call town hall and they can't get anybody in code enforcement, town hall can actually put it in there as a report of concern also, and we'll follow up to it. And the nice thing about it is, it actually, for example, somebody says, I have a water main break on my street. They notify us. This system will actually notify WSSC also. So again, if there's a street light out, it'll notify us that there's a street light out, but it also sends it to the PEPCO website where they can actually put in the pole number or location and do that also. So it's going to definitely streamline all aspects of code enforcement, some of public works and police department.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you so much, Officer. Thank you so much, Councilmember McBride, for that question. Councilmember Brown, do you have any questions?
I do. So, no, I mean, it's not a question, but I see that the system launch date is the 15th. Is that still on time?
Our tentative date is to launch the resident complaint section of it.
Okay.
And we're still bringing the other modules online because there's several modules that we're doing, but we want to get the report of complaint up and going as soon as possible. And then we'll send out notifications through Mr. Jeffries, through our website, also through an e-blast, and it's also going to be in the upcoming newsletter. So it reaches everybody.
Yeah, great. This is exciting. I know the residents are going to be very excited and happy with
And again,
this tool
it's going to
here.
actually, you'll probably start seeing a different report, monthly report from code enforcement, because we'll be able to do our entire reporting system off this program also.
I mean, so is that reporting of this code violations or?
No, ma'am. It'll be from if trash is missed by our trash contractor. Again, if there's an issue with one of our utilities, if there's an abandoned vehicle, it'll cross all aspects for the town. So it's gonna be a great program.
Okay, great. Thanks. Excited.
Thank you, Councilmember Brown. Thank you so much for the hard work that you have put into bringing this to life. And as we move forward to modernizing our town, as we move forward modernizing our town, we want to make sure that our residents have great interaction with us and great transparency, and also great timing of the actual report.
And again, I want to stress it. We still want to have the hands-on service with our residents. I still love getting out and meeting with our residents. This is just going to help us to provide them quicker services. Again, like I said, I still want to go out and knock on the door and meet with all our lovely residents, because, you have some great residents out there, especially the ones that are out there. They're out there to help us more than hinder us, so.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we're not actually moving totally, even though we're trying to move into the modern era, we're still we're still,
That human touch.
right, yeah, paper-based system. We're still remembering those who are not computer savvy. That's what I was looking for. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. So basically, this is more an intense, is it an app?
It's a combination of an app and a program. So it's something that you'll be able to download on your phone and everything. And again, you'll be able to reach it. Just be able to come to our Town of Bladensburg website. There will be a hyperlink to it that'll take you right to it also.
Okay, so in regards to our town app, right?
It'll
and this-
replace it.
Okay.
It'll replace the current
It'll
one.
replace
Okay,
the,
that-
yeah,
okay.
so the issue that we had, and I just want to make sure that the issue that we had with GoGov or the other app is that we couldn't do the licensing. And we couldn't do the reporting and we could do the reporting, but we couldn't do licensing and we couldn't do the inspection process. They couldn't add those elements into GoGov. So, because we did actually come to them and ask them if we could do what we needed, which was licensing and inspections. And that's the reason why we are using GovPilot, which has been working with other municipalities throughout. They actually do, pet licensing. They do licensing throughout the country. They have actually, we bought 5 modules from them, one of them being customers, but a reporter complaint, the rental, the business, the parking, and the inspections. So we bought 5, sorry, my voice is, this is me, this is Vito and I's shared flu.
And yes, like I said, I know
Yeah.
she's going to go.
Yeah, thank you.
So she can
Thank
say
you.
her voice.
Yeah, thank you.
It's only 5 modules now, but it's nice because we can actually expand this program to add more modules in the future if we want to. So if we wanted a module for specifically Public Works, you could do that. If you wanted a module for specifically the police department or something, we could continue to add modules. So like I said, we're here to start it. And like I said, it's nice because it's a buildable program, so.
And does it have the app view, the mobile view? So if you're using your phone, does it?
It'll
Give
come
the
up, the similar
mobile-
view that I gave you, basically, it'll just be a condensed size going
That's
down.
mobile view, okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the hard work again that you've put into this. And I look forward to seeing the go live on the 15th. Thank you. Next on the agenda, we move forward to the 250th anniversary. Over to you, OTA.
Thank you, Mayor Council. So this is just a really brief overview on the 250th. Again, we should be starting the educational program in late January, early February. The memo just kind of, again, goes over that, and I just wanted to provide council again with the draft information that the mayor has put together in regards to the civic program. And then, as you as in the town events, we mentioned that we're going to do a couple events that actually tie into the 250th. One being the bike ride that we're working with ATHA on, and the second being the fireworks. And actually, even when you look at the fact that we're going to probably do Bladensburg Day, and the town's going to celebrate America in some way in that. So those are the 3 that I can see that we will be doing in regards to the 250. So that's it. I just wanted to make sure that every time, especially because it's 2026, we honor and respect the 250th anniversary.
Thank you. Any comment? No? Okay, we'll move on to the next on the agenda. The Boswick House update.
Darn it, I know, I'm not on, okay. Boswick House, the Boswick House update. So, I wanted to sort of provide you a couple things. One is a memo that was provided to us by the Amen Trust, and working with our economic development manager. Part of that is for us to think about a long-term strategy of the usage and the usage of the outside of the property. We provided a couple of images, which I was hoping I'd have an updated image by the time we made it to the meeting today. I will forward that to the council, and then I'll post it, because I'll have it by the end of the week. But in general, the Boswick House has been moving forward on the wash house, which is that little back building. It looks like it was a kitchen, but it was actually the wash house in the rear. that is almost done. I got some updated photos today, and it looks wonderful. And I was actually out there at Christmas time, and you can, the paint and everything, I mean, it looks amazing. And hopefully that same paint color that we've gone through a lot of trouble to get there, and the mortar, we can repeat that process with the historic preservation to get it all over the building so that the whole building will look as nice as the wash house looks. So that's one good update that's going on at Boswick. But as far as the actual memo that's attached from Amen Trust, we're going to do a formal presentation of it next month, but I wanted to give council, like I like to try to give you guys, I like to slow walk you into stuff, so I'll give you a month to kind of look at it, read it, ask me some questions so that for next month, we're ready to kind of go through it. So this is your initial introduction to what Amen is looking at. It's particularly in regards to the barn and the back. I want to say it's the barn, but it's actually called the stable. There are two barn-like things in the back where the little ponds are, when you're first walking. That's actually called the stable. And then there's a bank barn, which is a bank barn is built, I didn't know any of this before I worked here. A bank barn is built partially into the ground, and then the top of it's a barn. So that's why it's called a bank barn, because it's built into the earth. Am I getting this right, Rita? I didn't know that either, but that's a bank barn. So we have a bank barn and we have a stable. What we would do is look at using the stable area as a entertainment area for pop-ups like food trucks, wineries to come out there. So it's something that I think I think in some ways it's something that you could look at as an interim use, that you can, as we clean up those areas, that we think can be implemented in the next 2 years. It was actually suggested as part of the ULI study. And so we've been working towards that over the last year and a half to try to get real interest in doing some kinds of events there. So that's something I just want the council to start to think about. I'm mentioning it today so that you can start the thinking process. We'll put together a more detailed proposal of it, but the Amen Trust has attached that report, and I wanted to make sure that I shared it with you. And that's really my report for today. I really have Jared working with Amen and working on this project more. So he actually has a economic development report, which I will forward to the council this week. He sent it to me on Friday while I was out of town. So you'll start to get more of these kinds of reports from Jared as well. And he's been working through this project with Amen so that we can get this asset out there in the public. So that's my report for this month.
Pretty presentation.
Oh, yeah. I could show, I was like, I can't show my pretty presentation, but I figure it's part of the public record. No, I mean, yeah, I was like, I was trying to give you half an hour. Yeah, so yeah, I tried to, okay, yeah, I try to do PowerPoints to try to show you guys everything. I like visuals, so I try to do PowerPoints for for some of these things. So it's attached for your use.
Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate the hard work that you guys are doing on the Boswick House. It's been a long time coming. And I am so happy and I'm excited. I can't wait to see the work, continuing that work being done, just to stabilize and plan for the future of the town of Bladensburg. Bladensburg is a great place. Council, do you have anything to say?
No, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't have anything. I'm just waiting on the finished product.
Yeah. But to ditto that, I mean, it's just really exciting because it's just been a very long time, and I know that Mr. Sean, he can speak to that as well, So thank you all so very much for all your hard work and efforts.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is the FY Beacon Grant update. Go over to you, Ms. Bailey.
Actually, it's me and a little bit for Chief Fishcorn too. So, Action Chief Fishcorn. So, what this is a grant that was applied for by our grants writer in regards to starting I kind of want to say it's a PAL program, which is the Police Athletic League, which that's what I'm familiar with from being a kid. Is that it's sort of a revamp of that. These funds come from the state of Maryland, and it's for us to work in collaboration with the Salvation Army and for officers to work with kids on a boxing program. this was applied for, and we received it just recently, and so we're all just trying to get it done, I guess, or figure out where it fits in. But Acting Chief, your thoughts. I'm sitting back.
So it is going to require a lot of work on our side to put this together, because there's a lot of stuff. I haven't actually read the entire grant yet, but we do have an officer whose relative is in boxing and teaches kids, and said that they may be on board to help us out with this. But I think it's something that, if we can get some youth involved and get this program going, it could be something that's beneficial to at-risk youth and people who are involved in the program. So hopefully we can get this together. The grant, I believe, started in October. We just recently got it, but we have to work through how we're going to do it, where we're going to have it at, and who's going to participate with us. But we'll make it happen.
Thank you, Acting Chief. Council, do you have any questions or comments? Thank you so much for that information. I love the fact that this focus on the youth engagement, the mentorship part of it, and the mentorship and prevention. I love the fact that it is showing that public safety is not only about enforcement, it's also about intervention, positive structure, and addressing the root cause that place young people at risk. So I'm looking forward to hearing more about it, and how the council can support you moving forward. Next on the agenda, the mosquito control. Over to you, Sean.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is actually going to be the information. It's our annual Town of Bladensburg mosquito control. It's actually done by the state of Maryland. It's just to update the Mayor and Council that the estimated budget this year that the town would be responsible for is $2,266. And again, that's the supply of the trucks, the traps, and they will spray beginning late spring, mid to late spring, and they usually end mid to late fall, usually with the, usually around the first freeze when they stop spraying. Again, residents do have the option to opt out of this program. All they would do is have to reach out to the state of Maryland, or they can reach out to us in the town of Bladensburg, and we can provide them information on who they need to contact with the state. And again, this is all done through the Maryland Department of Agriculture. I'm done.
No, I was trying to see if somebody's at the door.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. I was like, yeah, it's open.
Okay.
Thank you so much for that information.
No problem.
Council, do you have any questions or concerns for Mr. Ryan?
Not at this time, not about mosquitoes.
Thank you. And our last item on the 5:30 agenda is Washington Metropolitan Council government. Over to you.
This is just my regular monthly report on the Washington COG, which is we belong to the Washington Metropolitan Council of Governments, and every month there are the CAO meetings along with other meetings that the council attends. The mayor and everybody has asked that we start to put these to try to report out. So I always try to do an information memo on the ones that I am able to attend in the month. And so this is just my normal one of the CAO meeting. That meeting has been occurring on a monthly basis. And it's really pretty good because you get to meet all of the CAOs in the Virginia, Maryland, and the DC area. And we get a good conversation going about a lot of regional items. So that's what this is. And what we will, what I'll always do is either attach it as part of the closed session, the work session, and also as part of my normal council report. Okay, there we go.
Thank you, Ms. Bailey Edgebat, for that update. And it's now time to adjourn. Can I have a motion to adjourn this meeting?
So move.
Moved by Councilmember McBride,
Second?
second by Councilmember Brown. Are there any corrections, concerns, or feedback? All in favor, says aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Any opposed? The meeting has been adjourned. Thank you.
I got to beat it.